All right, guys. I think we're live. Whoops. Some music I was working out to earlier. Yeah, I really like classic rock. So, how's everybody doing? Welcome back to the Sleuth Intuition channel. It is I, your host, Patrick Vallejos. Yes, we're broadcasting live to the world from Phoenix, Arizona. Happy Hump Day. Good to see everyone. Growing crazy. What's up? So, what do you guys want to talk about? Good to see you, Rescue. Right field. What's up? Jill Moser. Miranda, what's up? So, some of the things that I want to talk about, of course, we're going to talk about what you guys want to talk about first. The Shaylee Snider case out of Indianapolis. You guys been keeping up with that? Yikes. That was a hard one to research this morning. It was tough. What about the Mia McEwen case? An American tourist accused of throwing her newborn baby out of a Paris hotel window. Did you guys hear about that? What about the Tyree Smith case? An accused cannibal and murderer whose doctors just recommended that he be released. Makes you wonder. What about the Zizan cult? What do you guys know about that? Transgender AI fearing cult-like group. But honestly, they remind me of the Manson clan. First thing that popped in my mind was Sharon Tate. Those are some of the things that we're going to talk about. And then we go live again later tonight. We're going to discuss the Idaho College murders, specifically Brian Koberger and all the updates there. But before we get into that, what's going on with you guys? Oops, I don't know why that's freaking out. Some technical difficulties over here, apparently. Let me see what's going on with my laptop. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Let me reload my laptop here. Yeah, so those are the cases that I had for you guys. I'm going to jump back in here on the laptop. Stop that mic. There we go. It's the first time it's ever done that. There we go. Welcome in, Phil Bond. Good to see you, Phil. Big country, what's going on with you? Christine Robbins. Sup, Chuck? Oh, it says my battery's running low. How'd that happen? I must have left this. Hold on, guys. Yeah, let's just shut this down. Let's go ahead and let that laptop charge. I just feel more relaxed in that chair. Gives me a break from the desk. Good to see you, Christine. Miranda says, how about learning more about how fake liars some people are and how it's difficult to trust almost anyone, let alone people you meet online? Yeah, tell me about it. Tell me about it. What's up, Sparky? J Ray. Charles says that trans cult is going to be having murder trials in 3 states and federal. Yeah, I'm getting the Manson vibes from that group. Trivia night. That sounds awesome. Have fun, Miranda. Yeah, you can have the highest IQ and be emotionally unintelligent. You know what I mean? You can have all the brains in the world and not know what to do with them. Because your emotions are all out of whack. So, how many of you have been keeping up with the story of Shaylee Snider? They just found her body, her deceased body, near railroad tracks on the west side of Indianapolis. 15 years old. Let me put her photograph here up on the screen for you guys. 15, she was talking to somebody online. Next thing you know, she's gone. Police labeled her as a runaway. Remember, that's what they wanted to do to Abby and Libby at first. You know, oh, these girls obviously ran away. They would be home by now. She's got an Eazy-E shirt on. It's pretty cool. I like Eazy-E. Yeah, Sparky. So it appears we have another possible cyber stalk, you know, online catfish situation. Somebody was able to get her out of her home, convince her, you know, to leave home and to go to someplace where she wouldn't be safe. They also found a car. I think it was a Chevy sedan, a 2016 Chevy sedan, and it was completely burned. We know what that's all about, right? And that's what professional killers do. They steal a vehicle, so it's not tied to them. They don't have to worry about bringing back any evidence with them back home. So that's what it appears happened in this case. So I think we're dealing with a professional here. You know, they catfished her, lured her online. Probably people who are heavily using things like the dark web and know the language of these predators. They know where to go, which apps to use, how to backdoor it, you know, how to, I guess, Dropbox it. They don't really use Dropbox anymore. They have hundreds of, you know, alternative choices, but things that work similar to Dropbox, where everything's encoded. Can't hack it, can't do anything to it. Let's see. I think I have an article and a video here to help us kind of understand what happened. Let's start with the video.
We begin tonight with a search for answers in the death of a 15-year-old girl whose body was found along this set of railroad tracks this weekend. Thanks so much for joining us tonight at 10. I'm Dan Spieler.
And I'm Beershella May. Today, Fox 59's Max Lewis spoke to the family of Shaylee Snider. And as he explained...
How's that audio? Through my headphones, it's pretty loud. I'm going to turn it down. How's the audio on that video? Is it blowing your ears out? Yeah. Good to see you, Sensei. I'm sure it's something similar to the Anthony Shots account. You know, she seemed like a, I don't know, like somebody who might be just young enough to, you know, fall for something like that. I mean, even adults fall for it. But whoever it is, they had their hooks in her pretty good, you can tell. I mean, she just up and left her own home. Thank you, Rightfield.
They believe her death was no accident.
It was a railroad employee who spotted Shaylee's body here along these train tracks on the southwest side of the city. Tonight, her family desperate to find out how she ended up here and why.
We found that she had, you know, just left. She was lured into something that she probably shouldn't have been.
Shaylee was reported as a runaway more than 2 weeks ago on February 10th.
Hey, Diamond.
Her family believes she met someone online and went to meet up with them. Nearly 2 weeks later, on Saturday afternoon, her body was found near these railroad tracks, and not too far away, an abandoned vehicle that had been torched, the charred grass still visible today. The coroner's office says Shaylee's cause of death is still pending and has not ruled it a homicide, but her family is convinced.
Do you guys believe that there was foul play?
Yeah. Hey, J-Ray. Probably. You know how it is with law enforcement. Kind of like when they found Abby and Libby in the woods. They're like, well, we can't confirm whether or not it's them or not. But everybody, you know, knew it was them. But they got to wait on the coroner.
Absolutely. We figure that the car that was found burning had something to do with her death.
Shaylee's family asked to remain anonymous, saying they're fearful of the person who might have done this to her. Their fear and sadness also accompanied by anger, accusing police of not taking the case seriously.
And also, this probably means that there were more than one person involved, right? Because you're not going to steal a vehicle, go commit a murder of a young kid, and burn your vehicle there, and then just walk away, walk home. Unless you live nearby, which I guarantee they don't. There's no reason to burn your own vehicle. If it belongs to you, it's going to lead back to you. They're going to get the VIN number. They're going to know that it's yours. So it's obviously a stolen vehicle, and they're going to need two people there. Somebody to drive their actual vehicle and then go pick up this individual after he burns that vehicle, or to lay in wait while you have one suspect go and pick up the victim and then bring her back to the murder site where you already have a vehicle, and then you burn that vehicle or have a vehicle nearby that is most likely a personal vehicle to you. So I think that would be the key in this investigation, is to try to find maybe some door cam footage of vehicles that were coming and going throughout the night, or even people on foot, and then kind of do it like they did in Moscow, Idaho, that is.
We feel like if we could have got some help and been on this a little more, she might have been found before it got this deep.
IMPD has said very little about the case, only that it's an active and ongoing investigation. For her devastated family, answers can't come soon enough.
Shaylee was so loved and she was so loving. And we just love her and we miss her.
We just hope she wasn't in pain, and we hope she didn't suffer.
If you have any...
And that's crazy. The families act, they're terrified. They won't even come on camera. I mean, how are you going to fight for justice, when you're taking that stance? That must be horrible. Good to see you, Anthony. What's up? Right before Valentine's Day, the timing. Yep. February. I think she went missing February 10th, right? Railroad tracks. The telltale signs. I think I bookmarked the area. Let's go take a look. I mean, this is some creepy shit, to be honest. What the hell? I hate that. When you bookmark a map and then you like zoom off of Street View, it just totally wipes out like everything that you've been doing. Fucking stupid. Annoying. This time we'll put the address in. So this is where they found her body. And then she was actually spotted, I think, a few days before, or the same day that she apparently ran away. Somewhere near Beech Grove. I think right here near 17th Ave. So somewhere in this area right here, she was spotted. That was the last time she was seen. Then somebody who worked on the railroad tracks found her body. I mean, look how shitty that is. Nobody around. You just drive your car up here, park. Looks like there's a fire pit over here. And then everything on the other side of the train tracks is just basically like a killing field at that point. There's a burned mattress right here too. Yeah, none of these are houses. These are like businesses. These might be homes over here. But even then, I doubt it. I mean, look at this place. Imagine your 15-year-old daughter, you know that this is the last place she's ever been to. My question is, how did he lure her out of there? Like, what were the techniques that he was using? I bet you it was just like Anthony Schatz. Emily Ann and Anthony Schatz. You can't have one without the other. Right next to the train tracks. And then I'm assuming that the vehicle was like burned up somewhere around here. It said not far. So probably, anywhere on one of these roads here. But I believe she was found like right in this area. Like on the side of the tracks. So he most likely took her here, assaulted her, and when she tried to run, he killed her over here. They, whoever. And I mean, it looks like there's people here right now. You see that? When they took this photograph, there was some individuals standing right here. The mattress doesn't look like it had been burned yet. Some illegal dumping. So somebody definitely knew about this location. And it does not look safe at all for children. I mean, look at this shithole. Looks like they were getting ready to maybe build some homes back here. And then for whatever reason, they were rezoned. But yeah, it was down this road here. I don't know, coming off this major 465 right here, this freeway. Getting off on Washington Street. Maybe turning down High School Road. I'm just wondering if they can get any camera footage. Looks like this camera's just pointed down at the door. I don't know. That'd be tough. But yeah, he most likely came right off of this freeway right here. Took a left here. They would need to know exactly what time and what they were looking for. I guess they have the sedan. They know what vehicle, so they could look for that vehicle, the one that was burned. Necessary evil. I remember a case where a dude that walked home, convicted in 2 murders. He walked. Did he drive there and then walked home, or just walked home? Because I mean, this is nowhere near the victim's home, and there was obviously a burned vehicle. You know what I mean? Yeah, they're terrified. Makes my blood boil. Because there's just some nasty piece of shit motherfucker sitting on his computer, like, I'm gonna get this little kid. You know what I mean? Like, at first it starts with like, oh, having these sick thoughts. It's just, you have to be a sick individual before you even get anywhere near that. So just to know that this person had access to this young girl. Ooh, went to a dark place there. Miranda says, "Don't blame them. Hold on to their anonymity." I'm not blaming them. I'm just saying, how are you going to expect to do anything if you're going to hide? They've just accepted the fact that their daughter's dead, and they don't want to be dead either. It's not a good start to finding justice. The law enforcement will take advantage of them at every chance they get. Yeah, very industrial. Not a lot of homes around here. I don't know. Maybe the gas station might be helpful. Maybe pull up this article here that I had on it.
Motion detected in the front yard.
What's up, James? I agree with that. You have to hold them accountable, or else they're going to dictate whether or not they go that extra mile or not. Most times you need to push them. Nope. Tracks are active, very active. What's up, Louise? I'm free. James says Beech Grove used to be one of the nicer areas in Indy, and now I think there is a serial killer on the loose. But crime is really bad there. Yeah, I feel like there's shootings all the time. Like every day, it's like 3 people shot on Indy's Upper East Side, or something like that. Seems daily. Jeez, Boston. Yeah, this case is really messed up. Whenever I see that internet angle, this catfish thing, I just start to see this image of who might be on the other end of that computer, and the fact that that's the last person that this young child saw. That and that creepy road, those train tracks, um, I don't know, that fire pit, that burned down mattress. I just don't know how you stop it. I guess first you have to take steps in your own home to make sure that your children aren't communicating, and that's not as easy as you think because they're very clever. You can't just educate them and say, "Okay, I'm trusting you." You just can't do that because at a certain age, they become motivated by certain things. So you have to really be an annoying parent these days. What's going on, Lurker? CJK, what up? I mean, I'm sure it's just like every other city. What's up, Dark Side? So would I, necessary. Check those businesses, specifically the gas stations. You never know. People who might be traveling long distances, and usually they are. Usually, people who target people online, they're traveling quite a ways in most cases, right? That I've seen. Sometimes even over state lines. Thank you, Sparky. Is this close to the Amtrak area in Beech Grove? Sorry, I got busy with dinner. No, but that's the area that she was last seen at days before they found her body. So I think she went missing February 10th, so just a few days before Valentine's Day. And they're still investigating right now. So I'm going to wait on the coroner's report, and then I'll kind of update you guys on the case. Boston, they're making money off doing this. I think so. I think that's what they're doing. I think they're going out there, they're filming it, and then they're posting it on the dark web. It's good to see you, Don Spain. In Sedona, I got married in Sedona. My wife, my kids, and then my mother-in-law were just out there. Well, not there specifically, but near there out of Africa. It's like a zoo. Good to see you, man. Sparky says that's my happy place, Don. Love it there. I wish I could say the same, but I mean, it's just so freaking busy out there now. They're doing a lot of construction on the roads to kind of remedy that, but man, that could take years. What's up? Who's your daddy? 11. Indianapolis is getting worse with the shootings. I avoid Beech Grove if I can. Yeah, I feel like every other day I'm hearing about a shooting, and it's not just like, oh, person wounded. It's like 3 dead and no shooter in custody. What's going on, Hiawatha? Good to see you, Cindy. Anthony says, I'm off tomorrow. I have a relative who lives on that street. I'm going to check out that area. There's some homeless camp back in there, too, if it's where I think it is. Yeah, see what you can dig up, man. You know, homeless people sometimes are addicted to drugs. People who are addicted to drugs sometimes are letting people rent out, you know, take their vehicle, give them money. You can borrow my vehicle for a few days. You know, who knows? Maybe something like that happened. Okay, let me read this quick article. This one's from the Daily Mail. This is the most recent. I haven't read this one yet. Welcome in, V. Good to see you, V. Marie. Article's titled Terrifying Mystery as Girl 15 is Found Dead Next to Burning Car and Railroad Tracks. I mean, come on, guys. It's obviously a murder, right? She didn't burn the vehicle and then just spontaneously die. Let's see here. A terrifying mystery has left the family of teen girl scrambling for answers after she was found dead next to railroad tracks beside a burning car. Shaylee Snider, 15, was missing for over 2 weeks before she was found dead on Saturday afternoon near train tracks on Indianapolis' southwest side. Snider was reported as a runaway on February 10th. Now the family is calling her death suspicious. I mean, it's not suspicious. They're basically, you know, they're just waiting for the coroner to tell them, you know, the horrible news. I mean, it's obviously she was killed. The cause of death has not yet been determined. However, Snider's family told Fox 8 that they suspect foul play. Still, the Indianapolis Metropolitan Police Department is currently treating the incident as a death investigation rather than a homicide, but that could change once the coroner completes their investigation. Obviously, right? The Marion County Coroner's Office confirmed the teen's body was found at around 2:12 p.m. along the railroad tracks. A black 2016 Chevy sedan that had been set on fire was discovered near Shaylee's body. So a black 2016 Chevy sedan. Here are the railroad tracks. Some photos posted. We figured the car that was found burning had something to do with her death, Shaylee's grandfather told Fox 8. So I think her parents are her grandparents. For 15 days, relatives had been distributing flyers across the area in a frantic attempt to locate the missing teen. Shaylee's heartbroken parents, who asked to remain anonymous out of fear for their safety, believe the teenager may have fallen victim to an online predator. She was lured into something that she probably shouldn't have been, her aunt told the outlet. It's so gut-wrenching. It's terrifying. Now, the family's grief has turned to anger as they claim police failed to take Shaylee's disappearance seriously when she was first reported missing. Every parent's nightmare. Our child is missing. Yes, they may have run away, but why? You know, what motivated them to run away? Obviously, you know, they had a good life here, so that means that they were probably lured out, officer. Oh, well, if it was a runaway, you know, then they just kind of sit on their ass until they find a dead body. We feel like if we could have gotten some help and been on this a little more, she might have been found before it got this deep, her grandfather added. Yeah, I mean, the least you can do is check her computers, check her devices. I mean, they don't have any issues doing that during a murder investigation for random people, right? Oh, you were out at the Delphi Trails when the girls were murdered. Can I have your phone? I'll give it back to you in a few hours. I mean, why can't they just do that to all of her devices and go onto her social media and do all that shit? Doesn't make any sense. Thank you, Sparky. Yep, if you guys want a hoodie, a shirt, a hat, or whatever, and you feel like supporting my channel, that's a good way to do it. Sleuthintuition.com. Or you can shoot me a Zelle, Cash App. I appreciate it. Somewhere in Canada says maybe a Chevy Malibu. I don't know. I tried to get the specifics on that because, I mean, that's a big clue, right? But I'm sure they're tracking that down, and I'm going to keep you guys posted on that story. It's very troubling. What's up, Big Bird? Have you guys seen this? You can zoom in on that. Oop. Wrong screen. Yeah, possibly J-Ray. You know, I don't want to assume, but... And we know that those children who are having problems with their parents, you know, maybe due to drugs in the foster care system, things like that, they are targeted first. Kids with autism, kids who are having issues with their home life. Yeah, they're definitely targeted. Thank you, Sparky. What's up, Frank? Absolutely. Yeah, it's beautiful. Just very congested these days. It's upsetting. It's upsetting when that happens to a small town, you know. Just becomes congested. Well, the next story we're going to talk about is about a CT man accused of cannibalism and murder is granted conditional release. Does this seem smart to anybody? Okay, now if he does something crazy, like eats another person, I mean, whose fault is that? James, no special interest in Indiana. Just a lot of interest in the Delphi case. And because of that, I've done a lot of looking into Indiana. I've learned a lot about Indiana. Can't wait to visit it. I think Indiana gets a bad rap. Okay, so out of Connecticut, this is by Angela Fortuna. It's like NBC affiliate. Yeah, let's try to figure out what the hell's going on. Like, why would they release this guy? That don't make any damn sense. All right. A man accused of cannibalism and murder has been granted conditional release according to the Connecticut Psychiatric Security Review Board. Like, what's wrong with you motherfuckers? The board granted Tyree Smith's release after a careful review of his clinical progress, officials said. He's currently at Connecticut Valley Hospital in Middleton. Smith is accused of hacking a man to death with an axe in Bridgeport and eating part of the victim's brain and eyeball. Yeah, he seems good. You know, he's been really chill for like the last 6 months. He's been really, he didn't chop anybody up and he didn't eat anybody's eyeballs. I think we're going to release him, you know. It's my hypothesis that he's good to go. The board granted Tyree Smith's release after careful review of his clinical progress. He's currently at Connecticut Valley Hospital in Middletown. Smith is accused of hacking a man to death with an axe and eating part of his brain and eyeball. The PSRB said Smith has demonstrated long-term stability, remained engaged in all recommended treatments, and constantly followed his care. Oh, he's been a perfect patient. Who cares if he chopped a guy up and ate his eyeball? He's been good in here. His conditional release requires that he remain under structured supervision and that he continues to receive necessary mental health services. Okay, what about the guy that he chopped up? For being granted conditional release, a person is first placed on temporary leave status. This means they're still confined to the hospital, but have privileges and generally start with daytime passes and receive treatment in the community, including overnights and weekly check-ins at the hospital, the board said. Rehabilitation, not punishment, is the goal for all individuals found not guilty by reason of insanity. This is fucking crazy. This is crazy. Take care, Cindy. All right. So I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say about this. I mean, we can go ahead and say it now. When do you think he will be back in the news? I'm going to say 6 weeks. So mark this date right here. February 26, 2025. 6 weeks from today, this motherfucker will be in the news again. Take care, James. It was good to see you. So his conditions, let's see. Thought I just read them. Right here. A person first placed on temporary leave status. This means they're still confined to the hospital, but have privileges that generally start with daytime passes. Like, he shouldn't even get it that. To receive treatment in the community, including overnights and weekly check-ins at the hospital, the board said. So is he crazy or what? Like, I don't understand what that means. Okay, the judge rules that you were insane at the time of the crime. So you're not responsible. But how can they determine that you're not going to just like snap again? Richard said, Sleuth, I live in southern Indiana near Louisville, Kentucky, and believe me, Louisville has become very dangerous too, or 3 shootings per day. It's out of control. What a mess. Those shrinks need to be shrunken. They need their own shrinks. Necessary says a month after he doesn't take his meds again. Oh, yeah, that's just a ticking time bomb. I mean, it's kind of fucked up to kind of guess when he's going to do something like this again, but I didn't release him. I didn't release the murderous cannibal into the public. I'm just guessing when he strikes again, that's all. Guess I'm the bad guy. Yeah, I guess they have a thing for cannibals. No, that's the thing, CJK. When you're deemed to be insane at the time of a crime, that's the whole point. You're not accountable. That's the decision that's being made by the court, is that you are not accountable. You're not only not accountable, you're not responsible. You know, you were like a different person at the time. It's like, okay, I get that. The person was insane. They're no longer insane. What's going to set them off again? You know, what caused them to go insane? Who's to say this guy's not going to be triggered again? That's the point I'm trying to make. Are you going to be there every day to spoon feed him his medication? Are you going to be there to observe whether or not he takes his medication? I don't know. I didn't hear any mention of drugs like that. Visa's 2 weeks. I'm going to give him 6 weeks. I think they're going to do a good job for 4 weeks on monitoring him and him kind of staying up, you know, doing his thing, being a model patient. And then after that 4th week, he's going to start sliding off of that little ledge there. Yeah, put your bets in and pray it's not you. If you live in Connecticut, you know, you might want to put in your bets and a little prayer, because those are the people that I'm worried about. I'm fine over here. You know, there's no murderous axe wielding cannibal who eats brains and eyeballs running around here in Phoenix, Arizona. That's over there in Connecticut. So good luck with that. Yep, they'll keep tabs on him for a few weeks, and then as soon as he notices that, hey, they're not stopping by on a daily basis, he's going to go start seeing old friends, start getting into old habits. He's going to say, "Well, I'm drinking tonight. I can't mix my alcohol and my medication together, so we'll put the medication to the side. I'm getting fucked up. I deserve it." Wake up in the morning, he's got eyeballs all over him. That's funny. Shrank. No, I'm not sure. All I know is that this specific axe wielding, murderous, eyeball eating, brain slurping madman, this specific one is not in Phoenix for now. He could travel, but yeah, I'm sure we have our own murderous cannibals running around. No doubt about that. Actually, there was a case in Tucson where a satanic guy killed a woman. Was it a woman or a man? No, killed a woman, then ate part of her body. And then in her blood, he wrote like a bunch of satanic stuff, like under this overpass. So yeah, you might be right. Live in a fucked up world, that's for sure. He does look like an Ewok. He's got the hair. It's okay, J Ray. That's all that matters. If you're the only one that laughs at your jokes, that's all that matters. That's all that counts. Okay. So let's get into this. You guys want to see some crazy shit? This is shocking. Don't mind all the ads here. So this next story is about an American tourist accused of fatally throwing her newborn out a Paris hotel window, and she was just identified. This is her right here. God, it's overkill. J Ray. Better go have a talk with cousin Josh. It's like Night of the Living Dead over here. Brains. Okay, let's get into this. The American tourist accused of throwing her newborn out a second-story window of Paris hotel, killing the infant, has been identified as 18-year-old Oregon woman who was traveling with $43,000 a year gap year agency, according to a report. Mia McEwen, 18, was part of a group of young people traveling in Europe as part of a gap year between high school and college when she gave birth inside the Ibis Styles Hotel in the city administrative district, French authorities told the Daily Mail. Authorities are investigating whether McEwen, who grew up in a $1 million bungalow in Bend, was suffering a case of denial of pregnancy. So I've heard of something similar to that. Denial of pregnancy. Like, what the hell? I was unaware she was pregnant or not able to accept she was pregnant when she allegedly tossed the infant out the window around 6 a.m. Monday morning, authorities told the Mail. Well, I mean, she's little. She had to have been showing. I mean, she's tiny. Wonder how far along the child was. Mia McEwen allegedly hurled her newborn baby from a Paris hotel. The newborn, which witnesses said still had the umbilical cord attached, was unable to be revived after the fall, authorities said. The woman's grandfather, Ralph McEwen, told the Daily Mail that he couldn't comment on the horrific incident because I don't know anything. And that's pretty much where the family is, he said. That's all I can say. McEwen was traveling with a group of young adults through Europe as part of the EF Gap Year program. So not sure what that is. Which said in a state, it sounds like fun. Sounds like while she was having fun, she got pregnant and didn't want to stop having fun. Which said the statement that the company was deeply shocked and saddened by the tragic event. Yeah, I wonder who the father is. I wonder how he feels. We are fully cooperating with local authorities as they continue their investigation. Counseling support has been offered to all group members. We are extending our support to the impacted families, the group said in a statement sent to the Post. Wow. Gap year is when college kids take a year off to adventure. Sounds like those Amish kids. Rumstein, or what the hell is that called? Romstein? She didn't want the responsibility of having a child. No, I think she was having fun. I mean, it sounds like a great time. You're like basically saying, fuck school, we're going to go party before I, get too serious about things. She gets pregnant, doesn't want to face it. That would have, most people, that find out that they're pregnant and they're going to keep the child, they stopped partying. Something tells me that she realized it and just kind of blocked it out. I've seen stories like this before. Okay, now we're going to finish up with a group called the Zizians. Definitely getting
Tonight,
Manson
the alleged
vibes.
leader.
Most of you guys have been following this. Let's take a look.
Tonight, the alleged leader of a cult-like group linked to a string of killings from coast to coast, in custody, held without bail. Prosecutors say Jack Lasota, also known as Ziz, leads the Zizians, a fringe group of young, tech-savvy vegans who share an obsession with the dangers of artificial intelligence. 34-year-old Lasota was arrested in Maryland on Sunday, alongside Michelle Zajko, 32, and Daniel Blank, 26, and charged with trespassing, possessing a handgun in a vehicle, and other crimes. Authorities revealing few details of the arrest, but the group has been linked to at least 6 killings. In 2019 in California, authorities arrested Lasota and 3 others for putting on robes and Guy Fawkes masks and blocking the entrance to a Sonoma area retreat related to AI.
That's fucking gnarly. Like, these guys are extremely radical. Like, that shit's crazy. I can see these guys getting behind, somebody who's willing to actually not just talk about it, but be about it. And I'm sure this guy was able to inspire a bunch of these crazy people.
One of the organizers told me Lasota spoke with an intensity about...
Notice the eyes. Notice the Koberger eyes. I call them Steve Buscemi eyes. But to me, I think that's what happens to your eyes when you lose your soul. When your soul is gone or been pushed so far back by the demon that is now living within inside you, that's what happens to your eyes.
Her beliefs that were just very, very unnerving. And it seems that it was from these events that Lasota started attracting followers.
Lasota and her associates eventually moved to the Bay Area onto 80-year-old Kurt Lind's property in Vallejo. As relations with Lind soured, things got strange. In 2022, Lasota's lawyer was told that Lasota had died.
So look, Lasota put out her own obituary. I wonder why she did that. I wonder if that was kind of like ceremonial. Because she's trans. Like, Jack's dead. Now I'm somebody else. Or if this was just to kind of cover their tracks.
And an obituary for her appeared in her hometown paper. Just months later, Lind was attacked with a samurai sword, saved by his neighbor.
You can see where he got his hand on the...
Damn, look at all that blood.
And he sits there and he says, I'm dying.
The attackers included 2 people who were with Lasota at the 2019 protest. One of them was shot and killed by Lind in self-defense.
Curtis Lind was severely injured. He was blinded in one eye. The sword, according to a witness, was actually sticking out of Lind at one point, like he was impaled with it during this attack.
Shortly after, authorities said they found Lasota alive and well at the scene of the attack, though she was not charged. On New Year's Eve 2022, Rita and Richard Zajko, the parents of Michelle, who was arrested on Sunday, were shot and killed in their Philadelphia home. No one has been charged for their deaths, but Lasota was arrested for obstruction and disorderly conduct in connection to the investigation, and a warrant was issued after she failed to show up for a court appearance. In January of this year, a follower of Lasota, a transgender woman named Ophelia Baukholt, died in a shootout with Border Patrol agent David Mayland, who was also killed. Days later, that landlord, Kurt Lind, was also killed, just months before the stabbing case was set to go to trial.
So did you hear that? They came back and killed him. So they tried to kill him with the sword. They took his eye. They impaled him with the katana. They almost took his arm. After he completely heals up and he's getting his life back on track, this motherfucker comes back and kills him, stabs him to death.
Maximilian Snider has been charged with the murder. An attorney for Snider could not be reached. Snider once sought a marriage license with Teresa Youngblood, a passenger in the car during that Border Patrol shootout. Authorities say the car was packed with guns and tactical gear. Youngblood is currently in federal prison and has pleaded not guilty to 2 federal weapons counts. Her lawyer declined NBC News' request for comment. Lesota's attorney not commenting on the latest arrest or the Zizian's links to those deaths across the country. In a statement released last month on Lesota's charges in Pennsylvania, however, he did stress that his client is presumed innocent until the government meets its burden of proving guilt.
Those who know them and are willing to talk to me about them are not willing to show their face, are not willing to have their name appear in any story because they don't know what these people might do next.
And David Noriega joining us now from Los Angeles. David, obviously some grisly crimes here. Have authorities made any additional progress on charges for this string of deaths?
They have, Sam, and they're also drawing a direct connection between the death of the family, the double murder of the Zazkos in Philadelphia, with the Border Patrol shootout in Vermont. Specifically, Michelle Zazko, the daughter of that murdered couple, has been charged with purchasing the firearm that was used in the shootout that led to the death of the Border Patrol agent in Vermont. So these incidents do appear to be connected. However, whether that translates to prosecutors being able to, or even trying to pin some of these most serious offenses, especially those having to do with the murders on Lesota or Ziz, the alleged leader of this group, it could raise some pretty interesting legal questions moving forward. Sam?
In the meantime,
Jesus. I think I have a timeline on this, and then we'll get out of here. Hopefully I saved it. Oh, here it is. I think this was out of PBS. Okay, timeline of cult-like Zizan group tied to killing of a Border Patrol agent in Vermont. Maybe you guys want to see this? What the hell is that, Hoosier? Bishnoi? Bishnoi. Bishno. We're going to start a Bishno cult. Why you call it that? Because Bishno. Okay, 2016. Jack Lesota, a computer programmer and transgender woman living in San Francisco Bay Area, starts writing a blog under the online persona Ziz, with complex and sometimes rambling theories about technology, gender identity, and human cognition. Lesota, who uses feminine pronouns, gets involved in the rationalist movement, a community that seeks to understand human cognition and is concerned with the potential dangers of artificial intelligence. Right? That seems healthy. I think we all have a healthy fear of artificial intelligence. Didn't you see Terminator? Okay, 2018. Yeah, they all thought Sarah Connor was crazy. Lesota attends programs organized by rationalist groups, but splits from them after they reject her theory that the two hemispheres of the brain can hold separate values and genders. November 2019, Lesota and 3 others, Emma Borhanian, Gwen Danielson, and Alexander Leatham, are arrested during what they called a protest against sexual misconduct within rationalist organizations. Yeah, these guys are radical. Right? The homicidal maniac suffering from psychopathy is always looking for their victim. How do I get a victim? How do I get from point A to point B, which is completing my fantasy, which is killing these victims? Sometimes they go through a roundabout way. You know, they might create a cult and convince other people to do their heavy lifting. That's how they go about it. Jeez, they bought a massive ship to live on, off-grid, and wrecked it. and let it sink in Cali. Jeez. Yes, it happened a few weeks ago. Look it up. They were here in Greenwood. Shit, I will. It's the bitch no. Bitch no cult. You never seen the Terminator? Go watch Terminator 1. Got to take down Skynet with the katana sword. Okay, August 2022, the U.S. Coast Guard responds to a report that Lesotho had fallen out of a boat in San Francisco Bay. Nobody is found, and obituary is published. Dang, faked their own death. That's crazy. So you knew right there that they were planning some horrible shit. This is when they started doing their planning. Can't suspect a dead person, right? November 2022. Curtis Lind goes to court seeking to evict Lesotho, Borhanian, Leatham, and others who have been living in vans and box trucks on his property in Vallejo, California, for non-payment of rent. On November 15, 2 days before the eviction deadline, Lind is impaled with the sword and partially blinded in an attack during which he shoots and kills Borhanian. Concluding that Lind acted in self-defense, officials charged Leatham and Surrey Dow with murder. Lesotho is not charged, but police report having contact with her at the scene. What's up, this account? You walked into a shit show. When he said finally he had to have rent, 3 members jumped him with knives and a katana. Shot one of them to death. Good. Slaughtered? Yeah, they were. The guy runs a cult from a prison in Indiana. Yeah, I'm going to look into that. Okay, January 2023, police questioned the Zatko's daughter, Michelle, at her home in Vermont. A few weeks later, officers briefly take her into custody at a Pennsylvania hotel, but release her without charges. Lesotho, staying at the same hotel, is arrested and charged with obstructing the homicide investigation and disorderly conduct. That must have been of the parents of one of the cult members. July 2023, Felix Bockhold, also referred to in court documents as Ophelia, begins renting half a duplex in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. May 2024, Teresa Youngblood's parents report her missing in Seattle after she sends her mother emails saying she has moved in with a friend and changed her number. November 2024, Youngblood and Maximilian Snider apply for a marriage license in Washington State. Also this month, Youngblood begins renting a condo near Bockholtz in North Carolina. January of 2025, Youngblood and Bockhold check into a hotel in Lyndonville, Vermont. January 14th, investigators put the pair under surveillance after a hotel worker reports concerns about their all-black tactical clothing and gun Youngblood was carrying. Yeah, if that's not obvious, you know, yeah, we're going to dress like the, what the hell, what were they called? Trench coat mafia. Yeah, these guys, they can think about it. You can be a genius and be this stupid. On January 17, Lind, the landlord in California, is killed. Snider is charged with murder, and prosecutors allege he was trying to prevent Lind from testifying against his earlier attackers. On January 20th, U.S. Border Patrol officers pull Youngblood and Bockhold over on Interstate 91 in Coventry, Vermont. Agent David Milland and Bockhold are killed in a shootout. Youngblood, who is wounded, is charged with firearm charges. The FBI searches the Chapel Hill property where a landlord says Youngblood, Bachhold, and Lesota had been living earlier this winter. On February 16th, Lesota was arrested in Maryland along with Michelle Zadko, Daniel Blank. They face charges including trespassing, obstructing, and hindering the possession of a handgun in a vehicle. A judge ordered all three held without bail on February 18th. Yeah, they know they're going to find more evidence on these guys. Yeah, that is crazy. Yeah, in their mind, they're probably, on some kind of exciting journey, Bunch of psychos is what's really happening, though. Right, exactly. Oh, no, they did. They charged them with whatever they could, which I believe was obstruction. But you can only hold them for so long. You hold them and then you pray you find something more solid. All right. The poll question was, how is your week going so far? Good, not good. F you, bro. Can't complain. 58% said good. 24 said can't complain. 12% said not good. And 7% of you said F you, bro. How could you even ask such a question? That's how bad it's been. But guys, that's going to do it. We are going live a little bit later. A lot of updates in the Idaho College murder case, also known as the Brian Kohberger case, Brian Kohberger trial. Lots going on, and we will talk about that a little bit later on tonight. If you're part of the replay crew, please drop a comment and let us know what you think about today's live stream and all the craziness that was going on. We got cannibals eating brains and eyeballs. They're cool. We'll let them out. 18-year-old girls on vacation would rather party than raise their child. So she threw it out of a window in Paris. There's got to be some kind of mental health situation going on there. And then Shaylee Snider, a very disturbing case out of Indiana. She was recently found murdered, and her parents say that she was lured online by somebody and killed found dead just 2 weeks after she, quote unquote, ran away, according to police. All right, guys, that's going to do it. I'll see you in about 2.5 hours, hopefully. If not, maybe I'll catch you on the replay. Either way, you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you again soon. Peace.